everybody, it's Tirsa. We are live here today for Fashion Index and we're really excited. We're going to talk to Rachel Erickson. She is from Unmarked Street and eventually Marge will join. But in the meantime, it's just you and I hanging out and I cannot wait to talk to her. She is fantastic. She is a product developer who also does tech packages and we really want to introduce her to you. So I can't wait for her to join me. Until she does, please know that Fashion Index is your place to connect with resources to help start or grow your business. Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Good
We are here
morning.
both on the West Coast. Usually this is a bi-coastal thing and eventually March will join. But so happy that you can join, Rachel. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you? Good morning. Good to see you.
I'm good. I feel like I had a lot of caffeine, but it's actually just the excitement of talking to you today and introducing you to all of our followers and all the listeners. And I already said that you do product development and tech packs, and it can be a great resource to all of these people. So can you just kind of tell people, what is your story? How did you get to where you are today?
Totally. I would love to. Thank you. So I have a fashion design degree from the University of Cincinnati's Fashion School. I graduated in 2007. So I've been a professional in the industry for a little over 15 years now. And it's been such a pleasure to have just different roles throughout the industry during my tenure. I started as a technical designer. I was doing a lot of pattern engineering, working with tech packs, doing a lot of technical sketches in Illustrator, really honing those skills when I first started my career. I was working at Abercrombie and Fitch at the time and eventually moved on to work at Fossil when they had an apparel group. And at Fossil, I really expanded my knowledge into different categories. So at Abercrombie, I was solely working on women's outerwear. We were definitely just focused on that one category, which kind of was pigeonholing me, and I was a little bit worried about that at the time. But
Well,
when I got
you say that, but there's so many things about outerwear that make you such a better designer, thinker, doer in the industry because there's so many more insides and outsides and materials that interact in outerwear. So you were totally not pigeonholed, but I'm glad you got the opportunity to expand your knowledge.
yeah, and you're so right. Like I think I was told several different times, like if you can make it in outerwear, you can do any of the other products.
Exactly.
And when I think back on it now, like working on those outerwear products was some of the hardest product that I ever worked on throughout my career. So I did learn a ton when I first started. And Fossil really expanded me into knits. I was working on menswear. I did get a chance to kind of continue working in outerwear at Fossil, but dresses, denim, I really started to learn to love to make denim when I was in Texas working for Fossil. And then I started to get into the outdoor industry from there. So I moved on from kind of retail to the outdoor industry. I worked for an amazing company called Miller International in Denver. If any of you watch Yellowstone, you'll probably see some of the athletes branded in cinch clothes, and that's the company that I worked for. Yeah, and they were just such a high quality apparel brand. Learning about how to make denim and woven shirts with them just really elevated my knowledge there. And then I moved from a different kind of saddle onto cycling apparel, and so brand new different kind of saddles. I learned a lot about chamois, making cycling apparel. I went to Pearl Zumi while I was still in Colorado, and most recently have been at Specialized.
Yeah, so if you don't know what a chamois is, it's the padding and the seat of a bike short. So that's what a chamois is. And so in the industry, ironically, she and I know a bunch of the same people, and Marge also knows people that she knows. So we were just talking about this when we were getting to know each other. And it's so crazy what a small industry it is. I mean, there's so many people in the industry, but as you've been in the industry for a number of years, we really have such an intersection of relationships and people that we know. And that's what's so great about getting to know Rachel and getting to know people like her is the connections and the wealth of knowledge and the likeness that we share. And it's just really cool. It's really fun to hear people's stories. We know people from different perspectives. We come at things from different angles, and it's super, super fun. I have to figure out how to get Marge in here because she's now on, which is super great.
Awesome. Hi,
But
Marge.
I'm such a rookie at this. I'll have to wait until she tries to join. So pardon me while I go, oh crap, everybody, but this is the way the world goes. But in the meantime, can you kind of tell what do you do today now that you have your own business, which is so exciting? And I'm sure, you know, like everyone, it's kind of daunting and scary and overwhelming and thrilling all at the same time. So tell us kind of what do you do today?
Yeah, so just back in October of 2021, I decided to launch my own consulting company. And Unmarked Street, we focus mainly on technical design, fitting, and development. So a lot of brands are looking for people to come in and help build flat sketches, build technical sketches with details around all of that so that your factory knows exactly what you're looking to make. We also then will work with your factory to make sure that they're staying on time, staying on schedule, getting you the exact things that you need while you're kind of working on all the other parts of your business. Beyond that, once we start getting in samples, we can also do our own fittings. We've definitely been honing in on those skills of remote fittings. So we've been doing a lot of virtual work with our clients, working with mannequins, like some of the product that's right behind me, doing fittings that way. A lot of the time, the owners of the companies know how they want items to fit on themselves, or they want to even fit on me so that I can kind of give a good example of what I'm feeling, if something is kind of pulling too tight or not fitting quite right. So we work that way.
It's amazing how people were so worried for years and years and years that you had to be in the same space and do the same thing. But, you know, even before the pandemic, when I'm doing consulting, you know, I'd get hundreds of samples in my living room and I'm like measuring and checking or whatever. And I did everything remotely and it was a-okay. It's amazing how we can do that today. So anybody who's worried that, you know, you're not in the East Coast, but you're in love with Rachel, you can still work with her. There's still a way of having that relationship. You don't have to even be in the United States, and we can make all of these things work. It's your oyster now. If you have that connection with somebody, you can be anywhere. Like she said, she could put it on, she could find somebody for you. She knows what the measurements are. As long as she knows exactly what the look is, you can do it anywhere. She has a great mannequin behind her, I can see, with a sample on. And, you know, you can have those articulate conversations and be anywhere. It's perfect.
Yeah, and a lot of it comes down to trust, right? So like when you're building that rapport with a contractor or a consultant, like working with someone who really knows what they're doing and someone who can kind of make sure that they're bringing your vision to life, not necessarily pushing onto you what they think is right for your product, I think is really key. And so building that trusting relationship with the people that you're working with is key to doing it virtually and remote, but it is 100% possible. We've been doing it now for almost a year.
That's great. And you have a bunch of different types of clients, right? I mean, who do different things, and just you're able to access and work with them in whatever capacity they need, right?
Yeah, definitely. So one of the interesting things about me is that I also went out and got myself professionally certified as a project manager. So as a development manager and a product manager in the latter half of my career, I really started to see opportunities to bring traditional project management into apparel. You know, a lot of apparel brands are kind of working, you know, flying by the seat of their pants and trying to make things work. I've seen that happen in so many of my different roles, and really understanding how to do risk mitigation, how to put a budget and a timeline that everybody agrees to and everybody sticks to, I found to be really valuable. So I do actually have a client who only uses me for project management, and it's something that I really enjoy.
Yay!
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I figured out how to invite somebody. Woohoo! That's the little things in life that excite me, people.
That's right.
Really,
That's
I'm like a kid on crack sometimes. I just have so much. Like it's candy. But it's really just the industry.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, so funny. Hey, O'Neill.
Hi, O'Neill. So Rachel, I'm not sure if you know, but O'Neill is a wonderful individual, and he's also our brand ambassador, and he's listening as well. So we're just give a quick shout out to Neil. He's a designer by trade and an industry expert in so many ways.
Yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you, and so glad you're here.
Yes. Oh my God, Rachel, that's so interesting though. I love that you actually went and got certified. I think that that's fantastic, especially when you think about like in this business, we're now reaching out to people who are kind of outside of our industry. You know, that's the people who are kind of coming in now because they're creating their own brands and everything. And I think having that certification is so important because they don't know what's required, but just seeing that you're certified, it's a little bit reassuring that you know what you're talking about, you know. So I think that that's fantastic. Was it a long program? Was it like?
I took my classes through the Stanford Continuing Study program. And so once a week for a couple of hours in the evening after work, I would sit in on these live classes. My professor, Deborah Hildebrand, was amazing. She taught me so much just about, it's amazing when you learn that there are ways to do it properly and there are processes in place for you to be able to implement in any industry.
Yeah.
That was like hugely key for me. Coming out of the Stanford program, I was able to apply those hours to my exam. And so I applied for the PMP exam. It's the Project Management Professional exam offered through PMI.
Yeah.
And what you then need to do is to be able to prove basically that you've been doing project management in some way, shape, or form for the last, I think it's like, don't quote me on this. I think it's like 300 hours or something like that. So you need to be able to prove that you've done that. And I think when a lot of us really look back on our career and what we've been doing as developers or product managers, we are doing project management. It's just not called that.
Yeah,
exactly.
So we had somebody who asked, we're talking about a project management certificate. So that's kind of, that's what we're talking about right now. But, you know, and that just adds to the wealth of knowledge that Rachel brings to the industry and what she does as a consultant. You know, not only does she know her profession so well, and she has so many different exposures to different product types. So, you know, from denim to knits to outerwear, and that really encompasses so much of the industry. But then she, you know, she has a certification of project management. So it just adds to her professionalism in everything that she does and everything that she brings to her clients. They know that she can handle things and she can figure it out. And she's not a single resource. You know, she has people that she works with who expand everything that she does, so she doesn't have to do everything, but she can manage the whole process for you. And she is actually based not only in California, she's in the greater San Jose area, actually on the coast. And we were just talking that she has resources here domestically in San Jose who can do manufacturing for you. And if you know anything about Fashion Index, we love you to make it local. So make it as local to you as you can and make it as sustainable as you can. Help our environment. And she also embraces all of those things. So for those reasons, we additionally love her.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. The San Jose area used to be such a hub for manufacturing, and recently, I'm not sure how many of you know, but the VF Corporation kind of moved the North Face to the Denver area, and they used to be up kind of in Berkeley, which is in the Bay Area. They owned a couple of different facilities out here, and when they moved, one of my actually very good friends went ahead and purchased a lot of the machinery that they were using, purchased up all of their dead stock, which is basically bolts and bolts and bolts of fabric and threads and zippers that they just had kind of ready to go for prototyping and working on production runs locally. And so she has all of that now in her own facility, and she's completely able to do manufacturing, and we're able to kind of source some of those trims from her, and it's great. Like it's a 20-minute drive up to San Jose, and I can go see her and work on manufacturing directly.
That's awesome. I mean, that is just, I mean, this is honestly, it might sound crazy, but like as bad as COVID was, I think it was great for us in the United States. And it's also what we needed. Like we needed to start reshoring everything here, you know? And I feel like you know, I think that I feel like there's more resources in every other country that are actively sewing and everything. And it just got sucked out of the United States because we were doing so much exporting or importing, I should say. So, so this was really phenomenal for us and such a win. You know, Tirsa and I have talked to the VPs over at J. Crew as well. They're also relocating 60% of their production to this hemisphere. You know,
That's amazing.
Literally doing production right in the Ohio area. Like, this is what I love to hear, you know, because I feel like we need to be given, giving ourselves a little bit more of our own resources. Like, let's use what we got here, you know?
Absolutely.
So that's fantastic.
Yeah. And one of the other amazing things about them, you know, they are, especially by using dead stock and being able to, instead of send all of those bolts of fabric and all of those trims into a landfill, they're able to really help with the sustainability initiatives of a lot of brands by helping them source something that's already sitting there, already ready to go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Love that.
It's amazing. So there's just so much opportunity, you guys. And I feel like we're on like this cusp of this thing just going like this. Like, it's just going to go straight up for us in the United States because the resources are here. The people are here. The labor is here that wants to do this. And not only that, but we have the technology. Through the 3D, through the 3D design and tech design and everything we could do with that. But then there's also companies like Tukatech who are creating these automated factories that are helping us be, you know, light years ahead of where the older factories, unfortunately, they've already invested so much money into their machinery that a reinvestment would be a big thing for them. But for new factories coming up, it's like phenomenal. And this is Rachel, where like you're making such a big difference because you're obviously the first stopping point. You know what I mean? And that's where people have to like get in, start working with you, develop their product, and your factories. You have everything. So it's everything you might need.
And it's so amazing to have these communities kind of come together and have you guys helping us organize and really have a single source that we can go to find all of that information. You know, I think that is something super unique. And I think creating community too in the apparel industry and learning from each other, like what are best practices and where are you guys going to do this? It's a thing that I haven't really seen much of in the past. And I think it's really starting to shift.
Yeah, and I feel like we're literally just at the beginning, you know what I mean? And
Me too.
Really gonna be phenomenal. It also is great for other people who might have been intimidated to come into our business. And like, I don't even know where to start. And this is how you start. And you start with like a great person like Rachel, like you, and she will guide you, you know what I mean? Like, this is, you know, it's kind of putting a face on the business and letting people know like that it's approachable and everything isn't scary and everyone's not going to take advantage of you, you know, which I do think it was
Totally.
like for a long time, you know what I mean? Like I in the business felt like that, you know what I mean?
And I think our business for some reason does feel intimidating. Like people, I think, have this perception of professionals in the apparel industry having a certain kind of way about them that I've just not been finding to be true, right? Like so many people that I've been talking to as I've been growing my company and talking to potential clients and reaching out to new sources and manufacturers, like everybody is just so friendly and wants to help and wants to teach and
supportive.
It's amazing.
And also, it's funny, we've talked with a lot of other people who are, you know, listed on Fashion Index, and they say the same thing. Like, it's a lot of us who have our own individual businesses, but you really need that community. You need other people who you can talk things through with. You can just like either pick up the phone or shoot them a message and just get something answered quickly from somebody who actually knows, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And even though we all used to like just work over the wall to each other, now we can be anywhere in the world and be communicating like that, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's really expanding the community though too. Like in a previous instance, you know, I might have walked across the room to talk to my pattern engineer that was in the building, but yesterday even I had a pattern and grading issue that, was kind of stumping me a little bit. And so I got on the phone with someone I worked with 10 years ago who I thought might have the answer. And we had this amazing conversation and he totally solved my issue. And it's just amazing to be able to do that now and feel like that's what we have to do anyway. We're not just kind of confined to our own building and our own team.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely true. And honestly, you will, the longer you're on Fashion Index, I'm telling you, you will meet the greatest, you can connect with the greatest resources also. I mean, of course, we have it in our own history, just with our own connections. But I'm telling you, there are just phenomenal people right on Fashion Index that you can just, I mean, really. Allison was just on here. Allison, I don't know if she's still on here, but we did an IG Live with Allison. Amazing. And she's also a pattern maker, but there's Allison, they're so chill. There's great pattern makers who are doing what you're doing, and you probably all can help each other in one way or another. You know what I mean? It's just great.
And each of us has our own little niche or our own little expertise that when we really all start coming together and talking about what we know, it just expands our knowledge. It expands the circle. It expands the way that we can move forward and work together. It's so super interesting. And I'm just loving it. Yeah,
it's phenomenal. Well, we're so excited for you, Rachel. We really are. I'm so sorry that I came on so late to the call. I had an unexpected meeting that ran over. Yeah, I am so excited to have you on. We are really excited to promote you to everyone we know, because we know actually how funny, what a small world it was that we all know the same people. But just based on all of the knowledge that we know about you, we know the service you're going to provide is amazing to people. So
thank you.
Very excited. Very excited for you, really.
Thanks.
Yeah. Terrace, do you have anything else? Guys, you have to look up Rachel on Unmarked. I'm sorry. I have my
Unmarked Street. Yep. You got it.
Right. Unmarked Street, guys, on Fashion Index. Just right in the search bar, Unmarked Street. And you'll connect with Rachel, and literally you can tell from this conversation, she's so easy to talk to. Get your questions answered, get your product started, and Rachel can help you through the entire process, right to shipping.
That's right.
So it's really
yes,
a great
and
opportunity.
she has a workshop starting tonight. So if you want to talk to her and join and collaborate with her, definitely
today, 3 p.m. guys.
Then
2 p.m. 2 p.m.
Yeah, it's 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Right.
We're going to be hosting a totally free workshop. If you want to join, you can DM me, and we'll get you on the list. It's going to be hosted through Zoom. We're kind of expanding on this idea of community, right? We're trying to get people into the same room to have discussions, to talk about a wide variety of topics. We're going to be offering some potential group classes going forward to talk about both development and operations. And so this is kind of a little sneak preview of what those are going to look like. And I'm super excited to have people joining. We've got about 60 people signed up so far, and we'd love to have more join. So please let me know.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So if you want to meet Rachel and join that Zoom, or if you want to talk to her about her helping your business, please reach out to her on fashionindex.com. Send her a message. She will get back to you, and you can start that conversation, and you can join that Zoom workshop and really get to know her. And we understand that everybody likes to get to know somebody before they work with them. So hopefully you now feel like you know a little bit about Rachel and her background and where she came from and what she does and how much great knowledge she has and what she can offer your ideas and your business. So please reach out to her on fashionindex.com. Again, her company's name is Unmarked Street. So we can't wait to hear how she's been able to help you. So, reach out to her, keep us informed. We love hearing good news. And if you have any questions outside of Rachel, you can always reach out to us at info@fashionindex.com, and we will try to help you make your business go, grow, change, whatever you need. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been a great day. It's been great talking to you, Rachel. I'm glad that you could join Mark, of course.
Thank you so much, you guys. It was great.
Take care, Rachel.
Absolutely.
Have a great one. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.